Hi guys from everyone, I'm Ada from Poison Rock, and today, even if it's August and we're supposed to be in a holiday, we are with Lenny from Dust Bolt. First of all, Lenny, how are you? It's been years, really.
Yeah, it's nice to talk to you. I'm doing good. No holidays, never. No, it's all fine. Yeah.
I mean, last time we had the interview, it was for people that they didn't know, it was all around the COVID shit period. So we were home, there was no live show. So
Yeah.
an easy question: how it was it back to play live? I mean, after the pandemic, the first lives.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, of course, the pandemic changed a lot on the first side, because we've been out there and we played a lot of shows, we've been touring a lot, and we grew up like the band Dust Bolt. We all lived together. The band was everything we did, basically. That was just the whole focus. We toured together, we lived together, and anything else just was like, we don't give a fuck, we don't care. And suddenly when this stops, then it's like really you're falling down to ground zero, and you're like, all right, what the fuck, what am I doing now? But the good thing is it gives you time to think and discover. It gave us time to discover ourselves, and the really, when you're an artist, you don't stop being an artist just because you can't play any live shows.
Yeah.
You're still creative. You just have a different kind of inspiration, because usually it was like the inspiration was being out there, being on the road, playing festivals, playing live shows, meeting so many people, and suddenly the inspiration was being isolated, being all by yourself, meeting demons and people inside of you that you didn't know before that are fucking there.
Introspectivity, that was the main word.
Yeah, and that changes the way you do your creative work, and it changes the way you write music, of course. And it was really interesting process. And last year I felt it was kind of like weird. We actually played a bunch of good shows last year, but it still was like you felt like everybody's still kind of like,
scared.
You don't know what happens. The dynamic in the band. Yeah, it was weird, and we couldn't even say why it was weird. And we felt like, shit, did we unlearn this? Did we forget how to do this? And then we just kept working, like rehearsing, being together as a band again, and just kept doing it. And this year, that's like, now to come to your question, but this year was like
the release.
All right, here we are again. We know how this works. We're good at it. It's fucking fun, and we can't get enough of it. Like, give me more shows. Now it's like, all right,
here we are back you feel yourself, on the stage again, because it's
exactly.
Because it's not easy from being home. As long as we were home, it was different from any country. Of course, anyhow. When you come back on the stage, I guess, or on a festival or on a concert, from anyone in the music field, but especially from musicians that perform, it's not easy, because you are there in front of a lot of thousands of people after 1 year and a half, not seeing no one, almost like
absolutely.
That's the feeling. But of course, I think that people reacted like really. I saw the vacancy, so. That was insane. So how was it? Of course you played other gigs, but it was, I think, the last one of the last live you did.
Yeah, it was one of the last festival shows this summer. Yeah, it was cool. Of course, it was. It's a special place. It's special people, and they had some issues with weather before, and they had to stop. Like,
it happened.
They couldn't let any more people in. And so we went there. It was like, okay, how's the kind of mood? Is everybody like just drowning in mud and water, and it's just like, just making through this thing or something? Or how's it gonna be like? And then we arrived there, and the sun came out, and people were like really holding together, working together, and it was just like, it felt like cool. We had 2 shitty days with mud and rain, but you know, metalheads, they just were like,
Yeah,
we don't fucking care, we're here to.
yeah, exactly. This is what you expect. I mean, from festival in the central part of Europe. I mean, even in the north, even in the south, anyone can, everywhere can happen. We can choose. I mean, and this is the funniest part anyway, because even if there is mud, I remember in some festival, you know, with the rainy poncho, and even when I was taking picture, the camera was inside the garbage bag. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's fun. That's it, because at the end, at the moment, maybe you're feeling exhausted, frustrated, but then when you came back home, and you see all the picture and the things you did, the video when you played, you just don't give a fuck. We're just having fun. But of course, Wacken did a really good work anyway. It wasn't easy. I mean, they were caught by surprise.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And the thing was that there was just so much like positive energy and like peaceful attitude at that festival. The people who worked backstage and like technicians and everybody who was involved and all the people in front of the stage, the fans, you felt like a really like, you know, everybody was like holding together, and it was really. I had some moments there, to be honest, at Wacken, and I was like really there, and I felt like happy to be accepted as a part of that community, because it's a really beautiful community.
Yeah.
That's what I felt in this moment. That was like what Wacken kind of like did to us. You know, we came back home and it was like, what just happened on the weekend? What the fuck? It was crazy, right? And then everybody was like, every member was just like, no, it wasn't actually crazy. It was just so beautiful. It was just so many great people from all over the world in one place, peacefully together, enjoying music. That's all you can ask for, actually.
That's what music is. Bring all people together. It doesn't matter the genre. It doesn't matter the
colors, whatever.
There's not supposed to be drama. There's not supposed to be a lot of things that right now in some festival that we don't care what's happening is going to be a little bit clickbaiting, you know, because if one thing goes wrong, everyone is like, oh, what is going on? This is
exactly.
I'm sorry to say,
they care. Everybody cares. That's really like to have a place where everybody cares. That's just so, you know, you feel that. And it does something to that place.
But when it became, you know, like to not speak about, for example, something occur that is not good, you know, the people try to find out what is happening, and then they start to put it like outside to make big clickbaiting video as you know, something not good happen, and things are happen all around some festival up in the north, and that's really sad because we're supposed to be united, and. It's really that kind of behavior, instead of being all together and don't give a fuck what's going on. It's really typical. I'm sorry to say from my country, but it's really typical from Sicilian people. Really typical. But anyway, apart from Wacken and of course coming back to play live, there is an amazing single that has been already released. Eyewitness.
Yes.
I mean, it's beautiful. I saw and I'm seeing. A new as well, different type of energy coming from Dustball. You always have been fun, professional, but there is more, like an increase, being funnier. I think correct me if I'm wrong. I see more. I don't give a fuck. We want to have fun. I've seen that is as well on your reels, and the kind of I think the essence of the band, being yourself. So in Eyewitness. What do you want to talk? I mean, what the song mainly is about, and what it changed before the last work, because then we're gonna speak about the album, but essentially for the Eyewitness single.
You know, the thing was, when we started to write on the new material, it was during the pandemic, and everything was shut down, and I tried to get back to really find out all the roots of everything I do, which led to the question that I was asking myself, why metal music? Because, you know, I love all different kinds of music. I grew up in a musician's family, was surrounded by music all the time. There's so plenty options that would be way fucking easier to do than playing in a heavy metal band. And I asked myself, why do I do this? And when I got back to that question, then I realized that it's always been the emotion that pushed us and pushed the band and did everything for us. The band was always the one thing that we found where we could put all our emotion in, 100% being honest and letting it just all out. That's always been the way that we as Dustbolt looked at the music and looked at thrash metal. And of course, back in the days, in the early days, we kind of like were hiding the things behind like typical metal metaphors, you know, and typical metal themes. And I was like, all right, what if all I can do, what if I'm just being radical fucking honest, why I'm angry and why I'm writing this song right now? And that's somehow the background of Eyewitness, because you know, there's things that just drove me mad, that drive us mad. We're living in Bavaria in Germany, which is like the most conservative place in Germany. It's like really wealthy, really rich people.
Yeah, I know.
It's not an environment that's super like friendly and easy for artists and for people who like punk rock and say fuck you, you know. It's like not the easiest place, and I
that's good from you to clear about that, because sometimes people when they go to Germany and they go to Bavaria, they say, oh, you know, it's the coolest part. I mean, it's beautiful. But as well,
I love it.
Yeah, but as well, hearing a perspective from someone that lives there, not only as a musician but as well as an inhabitant, is good as well to know.
Absolutely, and the thing is, just, you know, that's my kind of like inspirational thing, where I'm saying, all right, cool, we are like many young people here, and we got so many good and new ideas, which we want to try out to make this place a better place and a happier society. And the way we feel is like we like work our asses off to like develop new ideas.
I remember it, yeah.
And then you're crushing against this wall of just like conservatism and like, you know, no, we've never done it that way, so why should we change anything? It's like, because change is necessary for development.
Exactly. We should put that as a statement of the interview. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but and the thing is, you know, that's the point where I was like, all right, this fucking drives me mad. And I know a lot of friends, a lot of people around us drives me mad, but there's no outlet right now. There's no, you know, I need to put this emotion somewhere, and that's where Eyewitness was written, and the song just appeared. You know, it's just like, why do I write an angry song? Because I'm fucking angry. What drives me mad right now in this moment? It's this. All right, cool. I write a song about it. It's as simple as that, because if I scream into a microphone, I want to feel and I want to know why I'm screaming into it.
So it's like,
I don't want to, you know, I could hang out at the beach and have a beer. It's way more comfortable than like sitting 10 hours in a van for screaming into a microphone. There must be a reason I'm doing it, and the reason is because I got something to say, and that I feel something which I know other people around me feel.
Exactly.
And that's somehow the Dustbolt philosophy. The emotion always comes first, and even if it's an irrational emotion, even if it's like a little bit, you know, too much or crazy, it's still an emotion. It's there.
Yeah, and that's what makes a song true. Like, it goes, come on, something that like Eyewitness, a kind of form that is not, that I mean, it can be even from, you know, like a daily life, especially from young people, you know, like the young teenager, that they are all the people that look at you, at your band or other musician as hero, inspiration. You know, it's always the same thing. When you're young, you have long hair, you wear black, and blah blah blah. Especially when you live like in this rural area or a smaller country, smaller part of the world, people look at you like you're an alien. I mean, like you're from other part of, and it's even difficult to get a job. It's difficult.
Exactly.
And you feel frustrated, and you start to think, what's wrong with me? And then you have anger and resentment, and instead of keeping inside, you scream it on the microphone. They can we can scream it out loud. I mean, or if in a microphone, if we have it one. That's
And it needs to be. It needs people who scream it out loud, because maybe maybe you say the words that other people can't put in words but feel, and then you're more, and then you can fight for the good. That was the only idea, And the thing is, we're still, for us, it's like that's like a really it's a huge topic, but for us, it's like we're in this conservative place in Germany, and I mean, everybody knows what Germany did not too long ago, and there's still structures, and there's still the same radical, intolerant ideas. They're still somewhere. They're out there all the time.
Yeah, small fights, like small things.
Yeah, exactly. And there's police violence, and there's like injustice from police towards people.
You are describing it.
If you have a different skin color, you're fucked. If you live in Bavaria somehow.
You're describing.
Because and it's like. And we're just like, we're young, like, really? It's 2023. Come on, what the fuck, man? We gotta create new ideas that open up and that are more like diverse. And it's like, let's get rid of that shit.
Yeah.
Change to develop to something better, because the past wasn't fucking good.
Exactly. And especially because all the people from all over the world, they will always address to your country or mine that we have the same kind of past, because that's the same past, and that maybe some actual present as well. Unfortunately, people that always think and refer to the country that was, not that is, or there is gonna be.
Exactly.
Because there are young minds, they want to change. And we are here to talk about it as an example. There is music, there is art, there is, journalism, everything. I don't want to say riot, but like small,
Absolutely.
So it's just enough that people can feel it, and that one day there will be maybe some change, maybe not, we don't know. But only the fact that there is one person talking about it, meaning that things are changing, and things are already changed. But of course, it's not easy being in countries where you're always being addressed. Oh, you were from that part, especially here from Sicily. Oh, you have other stuff as well. You have mafia. Please, it's gone. It's the past. People, they do not understand that. And people from the countryside, especially here, from the countryside, especially from the city of Corleone, for example, that's really bad for those guys living there. They're promoting, an healthy way of living, all legal and anti-mafia, whatever it's called. And people, they go there, they want to see, where the Godfather was shoot me. Yeah, let's put it apart. Let's look at the nature, the people lives there, the culture, the history.
Beautiful things.
Yeah, and not even, there are good metal band there. They can go anywhere. They are stuck there because of that. Because outside there are like, okay, you came from Corleone, and let's say you are making some particular music, speaking about your history, and they assume that. So that's not easy. So that's why music is there. But coming back to, you released the video clip, the single, but the album is in February 2024. So there is a huge gap in between. Okay, so what is, plan for this gap? Some other single released? For what can you say, of course? For what can you say?
I could say a lot, but I don't.
Okay, you want to leave the mystery.
It might be just a different way to approach things. The thing was, the idea just goes back to, I'm a big analog fan. I love collecting vinyls, and I love collecting. I collected CDs a long time, and but the reality is that like the whole way people consume music in the music business changed. For us, it was like just to sit there, like and think, not just be angry and be like, oh, everything changed, it sucks, it was better before. That's the same issue we just had. But being like, okay, maybe we can embrace this stuff and come up with new ideas and do something positive out of it, which led to the idea that I felt like, wow, through the digital way people consume music, I might get a chance that I have more focus of the people on particular songs.
Okay.
Because usually you had like 1 or 2 singles, and people were like, yeah, digging those singles, and the rest of the album, you know, you only had a few people who like, a few people ended up on track 11, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, my favorite track is track 12. Fuck. And so many people didn't hear it because they just didn't make the way through.
Yeah.
Which is all fine, because that's just the way it is how people consume music these days. You know, we don't sit down and listen to a vinyl record altogether.
No. And then, you know, just like the vinyl, reading the name of songs. Some people, they don't even know which or not track 11 the name of the song is. So
yeah,
they don't know it.
And that was just led to the idea, like, okay, maybe we can try out something. Okay. And that's the whole, you know, there's many things that we try out on this whole album. Is just like, let's try new ideas. Let's just embrace new ideas, even if it's metal, because metal can be a really conservative kind of like genre when it comes to, it has to look like this, it has to sound like this, it has to be like this. We have like really, you know, we already have like, we want it that way, you know, we know how we want it, we know how we want it to be.
Okay.
And we were like, okay, maybe, you know, what happens if you just do the complete opposite and just, I don't know.
Like, so but it's already written and produced.
Yeah.
It's done. Okay.
Absolutely. The album has been done already at the end of last year.
Okay.
We just came out. We have a new label now. We have new agencies. We have like completely new people around us. That just took a while until you know we have
all the legal stuff, and as well the agreement and
exactly.
I think the releasing time, but this new album, of course, because you did a lot of work coming from the beginning till today, and for people that don't know and want to know more about every single album, we have a past interview, so we don't stay here to talk about again. What is the difference between the first? Just focusing on the Sounds of Fury, what do you think? You think there is a change in the music itself, like not only in the sound, like change, like growing up the sound, or maybe some new elements added in the sound, or as well lyric-wise from
absolutely, of course. Of course, I mean there is a change, because Dust Bowl is not a band where we didn't start the band thinking of this is like concept and we're gonna do this our whole fucking lives. It's not how we ever thought of it, because we are like 4 people growing up somewhere in a small village and started this when we were like 13 years old kids, and we were just like, you know, this is our chance to get the fuck out of here. Let's do this. And I mean, so the one thing that's always all albums have in common, that it's 100% our feelings, our emotion, and it's 100% what we want to do. Even if people don't like it, and we're like, you know, I dig the more thrashy stuff, the first albums, it's all fine, but that's what the 4 of us, if we are all considered as 4 individual artists, that's what the 4 of us came up with when we met together to play some heavy metal music.
Yeah.
That's it. And so I absolutely embrace the idea of having a little change here and there for each album to keep it interesting and keep, where are they going now? What are they going to do next? I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
People who know us, and people who trust us, they know that it will always have this energy. It will always have this thrashy vibe, because we just fucking love it.
Yeah.
But we're just open to any influence and any idea
that came from
that just warms, that just feels good for us, you know. I mean, it's music and it's art. It's not like you sit down and you think like, maybe we should change or we should do something different. You know, I don't know how the songs happen. They just happen. Yeah. It's my way of, you know, I sit down and I write poems, and maybe this is gonna be a lyric. I don't know.
No, it's gonna be a book someday.
I walk into the forest with my drummer Nico. Maybe he comes up with an idea, and we're like, okay, let's go to the rehearsal room and you know, work on this idea, and then it's just, it happens. It's not in our control, and that's the way we see being creative.
maybe that's the way as well it should be. And for the lyric-wise part, it keeps the line with the word I witnessed, like this introspective journey, kind of, or it's changed from song to song, something like that. I mean, there is a one similar topic, kind of.
Yeah, yeah, definitely there is. I mean, for me, it was like trying to be the most honest to myself that I could be. Like, you know, earlier, like back in the day, I would feel a certain emotion, and I was trying to come up with lyrics that would like still have the emotion in it for me, but hide it from other people, so they don't find out what I really think. And now I felt like, you know, what if I just say what I really feel, which is a really kind of like a big step, but I felt like we got to do it. So it's as I said, it's all based on emotion and all based on what we feel, what I felt as the lyric writer, and what I experienced. And of course, the experience change when you get a little bit older. You know, it's like life is not exactly the same anymore as when we were 18.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you have more responsibility, but as well, you have a different eye to see the life, a different eye to see the experience. I mean, come on, at a certain point, we can't, you know, handle alcohol like we used to be. So, at a certain point, we have to just be more like the elder people, giving to the younger the advices. It's always like that.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Normal.
And you know, the band, I mean, we're doing this for like nearly 15, 16, 17 years, I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
Since really little kids together, and it's like a relationship, having a relationship to 3 other people for 17 years. It's
a long marriage.
It's a really intense thing to do.
Yeah.
And it's also interesting because if you meet other people in your life, there's always gonna be a point where, you know, there's always this band in the middle of everything, and anybody like we meet has to deal with that, not just like with one person, but with like this thing that is more important than anything else for the 4 of us.
Because you created like really, it's not only a band, it's a family, it's brothers, it's something. It's above a lot of things, and of course it's your work, it's your job, it's a dream, it's all of your passions. And it's normal that when people cross your path, you say, look, there is me, there is the other, but there is well all this things.
Exactly.
Possible. It's not me or Lenny, it's just us. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
4 minds, it doesn't matter, they made 1 mind. That's the beauty of it. And of course, I mean, the album is gonna be out in 2024. We said that, I mean, I think there's gonna be some touring in the next summer or whatever to promote it.
Exactly.
I think you will announce it in the right time. But in between, you have some live planned. I mean, apart from the recently you had, or you're gonna just stop a little bit in the fall?
The fall is gonna be a little bit more like not too busy when it comes to live playing, because we wanted to have the record out until we tour. So we're starting in February next year when the record comes out. We're starting doing Germany, and then we want to go to all the places that exist on this planet.
Okay, so it's not gonna be just a tour in Europe, like a European tour. It's gonna be maybe North America, Central America, whatever too. I think you won't have any trouble because you have a name already. And maybe 10 years ago you were just a young band. Now you are. I'm sorry to say it, but you are old. So you are already in the mainstream. Last time when I spoke with, I did an interview with Jared from Tankard, and
he's really old. He is old.
No, but he said, yeah, I know them, because I mentioned Dustball. He said, yeah, of course I know them. Yeah. I don't know if you ever played together, but he knew your music, and I was like, okay, so they are not anymore the new band. They are already in the main kind of stream, you know what I mean.
You kind of like grow into, you know, all the people like in the music business, rock, metal and stuff. You know, we've been around for 15 years, and people people always saw that we work our asses off no matter what. We don't care, and I think people start to appreciate it, that we're not like guys. We're not like trying to have a hit single, and if it didn't work, we're gonna go back and do something else. Like we really, as I said,
every single moment.
This is the thing we do. This is the thing we do. This is what keeps us, going on.
Keeps alive. Yeah.
Finding motivation for life, and that's the reason why we get up in the morning.
Yeah.
It's our friendship, and it's the music. That's the two things. Yeah.
Yes, and these last years of live or recording, rehearsal, whatever you want to call it, there has been some memory, some moment that you really cherish because it was fun, it was emotional, any type of memories that you would like to share. Even the funniest, the silliest, the serious, it's up to you.
It's really hard to tell, because when you're out there with your best friends, then it doesn't matter what you do. You collect so many moments that are dramatic, funny, piss you off at the same time. It's always like that, If the four of us comes together, it's just chaos. And you just need to we just played that's a funny story I can tell. We just played a show in Hungary. And we were like, it's really far away. Let's just take the train. And we took the train there. So we had a train ride, which was supposed to be 7 hours.
Okay.
Turned out to be 9 hours. And the first train just didn't appear. So we spent 3 hours at the
train station.
The train station. And we took the train 9 or 8 hours to Hungary.
Okay.
And there was so much stuff happening on this train to Hungary, in this train, that the 8 hours felt like half an hour, because just weirdness all the time. It was some kind of a really crazy train, but it was funny. Stuff stolen, we got a mobile phone stolen, we got fights and everything just happened. We were just in there, what the fuck? But it's really funny, yeah.
It's like the Train Express, whatever movie, that everything happened in a train.
Yeah, I heard of it. I didn't see it, but I heard of it. Yeah, it felt like that.
You will relate to that. Oh, look.
Yeah. And then we arrived in Hungary, and we were picked up at the train station, and the car wasn't big enough, so we were stuck into this car with our equipment for another, I think, 2-hour drive or 3-hour drive.
Okay.
That's when we arrived at the festival and went on stage and played the show. No food, no nothing, just
not even food. Okay.
No time, no.
You had really a lot of passions. Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's just and for us, it's another crazy weekend. You just come back home and you're like, what the fuck?
What happened?
Whatever. Just continue,
Just laugh. We go to sleep, and tomorrow is another day and another
exactly
story.
Yeah, we got another good story that we can remember in a couple of years. Yeah,
of course. And just summarizing, all is happening. You are back from all the live shows, so there is a kind of moment of, let's say, rest. Let's say kind of rest right now.
Yeah, I'd say preparation for next year.
But before the release, that is gonna be on February of 2024, we of course are gonna see some other song released, I guess. Some
Probably.
other things. Okay, some other things released. But in the meantime, we enjoy Eyewitness, that was previously released. And just to leave you, if you want just to say a message to everyone that is looking at this interview, or Dustball, even better, Dustball fans.
Yeah, all I can say is keep supporting music, keep enjoying music, no matter what other people say. Stay open-minded to new ideas. Also, when it comes to metal and it comes to music, I feel like it's some kind of time to start creating the future of rock and roll music and of heavy music. Because there's a lot of bands out there that won't exist anymore in the future, so it's our chance and our time to embrace young artists, newcomer artists, underground artists, support small shows, support the music that you love. Let's enjoy music all together. That's all I can say.
Exactly, and I agree with you completely. So I want to thank you again, Lenny, for the talk and the interview. Of course, if you're gonna to be touring after the album release, and maybe you were gonna cross Italy before, maybe, or
I hope so.
somewhere in between. I'm gonna come straight forward, and instead of waiting 3 years, maybe we're gonna do an interview face to face and talking about the album, because otherwise I have to bother you again for an interview to talk about the album. So
absolutely, whenever
deeper about the album. So because we will know the song, we will know the meaning. So we're gonna dig. Exactly. So in person, it's even better, and it's gonna be funnier because we put all the tasks all together. So,
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, whenever you are in Germany or something, just hit us up.
Yeah, of course. I always have been at Summer Breeze, so Linkage area. So,
cool.
Yeah. Right. So
that's pretty close. Yeah.
It's close. Yeah.
It's not too far away from us. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there in Memmingen and near Lake Constance, in the south.
Yeah.
And Fribourg. On the southern area, because you rent some places there and then you take the car and drive. I spent every summer before the pandemic like a month there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So thank you so much. Enjoy the day and see you soon.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.